And this is This Week in Car Audio. Tune in, tune in, tune in, tune in. This Week in Car Audio. Tune in, tune in, tune in. We'll be talking about bass, talking about chips, talking about rings. You ain't got them, zip your lip. You got a problem you haven't found, check your grounds. The show about to start. Tune in, 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 tune in. This Week in Car Audio. Yeah. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio.
Welcome to This Week in Car Audio with your host, the Judge, Doug Stockton, co-hosted by now delivery driver, no, he ain't delivery driver, delivery stalker, Jeffrey Fernandez. What's good, Jeff?
Working logistics, okay? It's called logistics. Funny word.
Yeah, so what's going on, sir?
Nothing much. Just about finished my move. Well, it's still
good.
I'm in the new place now. And it's just wanted to get all my stuff out of the old place, and we just stuck it in our garage. So we're like going back and forth, and it's hot out here. It's like triple digits. So we're either doing it like early morning or like early in the evening. We're taking boxes from the garage, bringing it in the house. I hate moving.
My wife actually suggested that we drive out to Wichita with a load in the car.
And what in the car?
With a load of stuff in the car.
Oh, okay.
And drop it off at the new house in the garage. And I'm like,
it's a good idea.
It is? You smoking something.
The drive is really nice. I guess it depends what freeway.
Well, so what the thing is, we would go Flagstaff through New Mexico and all that direction,
okay.
Right? Anyway, but I was telling her, I'm like, yeah, but why would we even do that if, we're actually renting a full semi. So
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
You go through like Hertz?
No. There's a company out there, and you just rent a semi, and
wow.
There's Justin Stallman. And it's only like $3,000 to rent a semi.
Yikes.
But so they drop it off at your house. It's there for 3 days. Justin says ABF.
Okay.
Anyway, so it's there for 3 days, and then they come pick it up. Yeah, exactly. They drop a trailer, you pack it, they pick it up, and then they drop it back off at your other house for 3 days. So you get 3 days at one house, 3 days at the next, and it's if you rent the whole trailer, it is only a 2 to 3 day ship. Let's see. Wow. Anyway, so it's only a 2 to 3 day trip. If I'm paying for the whole damn trailer, why would I take a small load right now? Right?
I think your wife's just looking for a reason to head out to Wichita.
Well, if that's the case, I mean, I told her, I says, I'll find a flight and we'll just fly out there and fly back. I was looking at flights today. They're only like $350 round trip. So, and I don't have to pay for parking at the airport. So that saves me, $38 a day or something?
A day, yeah.
So, that's pretty good. Let's see here. My buddy did it. It took a week for him to get it in Arkansas, and then all his furniture got scratched.
Oh.
That's on your buddy, because it was his responsibility to pack it correctly. Also, he probably didn't rent the whole trailer. Well, they didn't let him lock it. It says because they don't let you lock it. They didn't let him lock it because he didn't rent the whole trailer. You can rent out literally any portion of the trailer. So you just fill it up. They put a wall in front of your stuff and then let the next person fill it up.
That's interesting.
Oh, he says he did buy it.
They just didn't like him.
I guess not. Morpheus Design says you guys are jet set. So, yeah. So, but anyway, yeah, we he didn't rent a 50. Oh, he only rented a 20-foot trailer. Yeah, we're not getting a 20-foot trailer. 20-foot trailer ain't gonna handle all my shit. You know, I've been married to my wife for a lot of years, so we have a lot of stuff. But anywho, Jeffrey, no shows coming up or anything? Oh, Eric Hansen, can someone explain the new base race? Anything you can help him with there, Jeffrey?
Anything specific?
Yeah, because that doesn't make sense to me. I don't know anything new about it.
It's kind of like a broad question. If you're talking about the song choice, or could probably be
that's the only change, right? Is the song choice?
The tiebreakers. That's a little different. It's now incorporating the hundredths.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So there are two brand new things. Okay, we can go over both of them. Why don't you talk about the song choice? Oh, he's asking about the hundredths specifically.
Oh, okay. Shoot, I don't. Did I pack my rule book? I normally have it with my computer stuff.
Hold on a second. I'll pull it up, but go ahead.
A certain amount of ties would trigger the term lab to go into the hundredths place. Yeah. And I think there was a picture. Actually, I think Eric shared it with me. It might have been a picture from one of Chris Gregory's shows, and it showed like the hundredths place. And the guy, I don't know, maybe they still need practice on it, but I think everybody's still practicing. They didn't get it right on, but the closest to that number wins. So you just have to be able to beat that person. How many ties, Eric says.
Okay, beginning with the fifth tie.
There you go.
There it is. It starts with the fifth tie. Third and fourth tiebreaker rerun using random generated score. Fifth plus tiebreaker rerun the round using a random generated target score and the 1/100th of a dB resolution.
And I think Eric's been practicing. He's sending me screenshots of some pictures. So.
And what's the rule with the new song rule?
So essentially, you could use any song. Okay. Still, as long as it's not a test tone. I think the song of choice was it Big Pimpin' Songs or something like that, Doug? Do you recall?
I don't know what, I don't know. I just tell everybody use the boom checks, and I don't have to worry about it.
And if you've been practicing that and you've got it down, I probably maybe try different others, maybe just to see. But, my suspicion is that boom check is probably going to work best, especially if you've been practicing, a lot with it. So
here's a name I haven't seen before, Adam Prang. So Josh says Air Force One is great. I mean, that's what everybody was using before, right?
That, and I think Thug Motivation from Young Jeezy.
Yeah, Thug Motivation was another one. If you are going to be loading a lot, recommend getting a trailer with the lift gate. That's right. Well, we're not getting the one with the lift gate, but I do have a ramp for it. He says he's already dialed in, Eric said.
Oh, there you go. To the hundreds?
That's what he says. So Adam Perang, he says, is there any upper Midwest shows, maybe 2 in Wisconsin? So
that's a great segue.
That's an awesome segue. That's exactly where I was going with this. it is a great segue to introduce our new guest, Stefan or Steven. You know, if you're from Canada, it's Stefan, right? But no.
Well,
Anyway, so it's Steven. How do you say your last name? Tischendorf?
Tischendorf.
There you go.
Okay.
Yep.
So anyway, so Steven is a competitor out of the Wisconsin area. Eric asking again, when is Doug coming to DFW? So anyway, so why don't you tell us about because you and I just went over this. Why don't you tell us what we figured out about the Wisconsin DB drag shows?
So there's one for sure. Well, actually, there's two for sure the rest of this year.
Okay.
The one is actually coming up on July 13th in Sullivan, Wisconsin. It's going to be a double point for DB drag and also Iasca. That's one of our biggest shows that we actually have in Wisconsin, that I know of at least. And then there is another one August 3rd in Arlington, which is another double point show.
Okay. August 3rd and this weekend, you said?
Yep, July
So
13th.
July 12th, 13th,
wow.
14th. Okay. Jeffrey. Oh, just speaking of which, I got an offer on the house today. It was a stupid, ridiculous offer, almost $500,000 under my initial listing price. Not quite sure we're gonna accept that, but I should know by Wednesday 100% whether I'm gonna do the 3X up in Dixon, California, which is right next to Sacramento. So I may be doing that on July 19th.
Unless Eric buys your house, because he's
Yeah.
wanting you to go to Dallas so
Yeah.
bad. If he just bought your house, you'd be
You just
there
bought
like in
my
a
house.
second.
Yeah, I'll even cut you a deal. 930,000. So I'll see you tomorrow.
There you go, Eric.
Justin says he's retiring after this year. No more SPL number chasing for him. You don't have to chase numbers. Yeah, just make it windy. It says my internet sucks. I don't know. My internet looks pretty good. How about yours, Jeff? Looks
We
like we're
just
coming in
signed up
pretty clean,
like a
huh?
couple of days ago.
Well, I mean, but it's coming across pretty clear. How about yours? Yeah. And Steven's looks like it's coming across. So, Justin, guess whose internet sucks?
So I hope that answered Adam's question as far as Wisconsin shows. Hey, Adam, are you nearby any of those cities?
Yeah, hopefully you are. While he's waiting for his while we're waiting for his response, why don't Steven, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you think why it nominated you to come on the podcast and talk with us?
Honestly, I think it's probably because I've been trying to do it for 4 years to actually hit 150 decibels.
Okay.
And the beginning of this season, which our first competition was in June, I don't remember the date.
Frost off?
I actually hit.
Was it the frost off? Was it the frost
let me
show?
I hit a 151 flat.
Okay. But was the event the frost off? He's freezing, right, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I think he's frozen.
Good. Adam says 6 hours away, thumbs down. Oh, yeah, I think Steven's frozen. I don't see him or hear him anymore. He must have got a bad signal there. Anyway.
Wow, so he must be like a competitor. Well, he's a competitor in Wyatt's area for 4 years.
I have no idea what just happened right there.
Adam said he used to go to Madison when Weber was doing that show. So you hit 150 finally, right? And that was
151 flat.
151.5?
Flat.
That was this past competition. That was the highest I ever hit.
Okay. You remember when you hit 150 for the first time, Jeffrey?
Yes, but there was an asterisk because it was on the audio control mics, and I think we just got a hot mic that day, and it like jumped it to like I don't know, 51. But I know legit it was doing like 46s, 47. So that's how I remember.
My first 50 was at Autorama. So that's when I was the third loudest street guy in the world, and Scott Sanborn was there. He went, "What the hell you got in there? What the?" You know, because here I am with the little station wagon and hitting 150s. So,
jeez.
And like I said, me the third loudest guy in the world. Number one loudest guy for the street class was Matt Bransway, with the Yossi RX. Number two was Scott Sanborn. He was doing like a 51.2, and then I hit like 150.6, and so maybe the third loudest street guy in the world. And yeah, I remember that. And really, the goal to get new guys involved, the kind of threshold is that 150, right?
Yeah.
That's why I have the rolling 50 stickers. Jeffrey had the booming, I don't know what you guys call it, your 50s.
Yeah, 150s.
It was just the 150s, booming
Yeah.
150s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, Jeffrey had those stickers. But so what classes do you compete in, Steven?
I'm usually in a 5K no-log class. 5K.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah. Just recently, I've been going to the 5K class pretty much the whole time because I always would go over 2,000 watts every single time. So I just kept it to 5K class all the time, which I didn't mind. I mean, it was fun. I mean, it's all for fun anyways. So get out there, you go crazy with it or anything. That's for fun.
Yeah, you're not making a paycheck from this. So.
No.
What?
It's all for charity.
You can make a paycheck doing this?
I mean, with hot dog, you can.
So you compete in the 5K plus, right? And then
Yep.
you also do base race and top dog, or what?
Base race, I don't do freestyle, and demo cyclone, I do.
Okay, how do you do a demo cycle? What tell us what songs and what car you have? Why don't you tell us about your system?
So, I have a 2013 GMC Acadia,
Okay.
which I have 2 Platinum 15s in it for doing sound, and I also have it's Stetson DB8000 for an amp.
Okay.
I then also have a JS Alternators 320 amp alternator in there, and I just recently got a sodium bank from Frico. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of them.
No. So you got a sodium bank. Is that pretty heavy or light or?
It's actually pretty light. It's 20 cells and it can hold up to 10,000 watts, and it's only about maybe 25 pounds.
Okay, and how much was the sodium bank? So we did a podcast about sodium a while ago, and they were telling me that sodium can get super cheap. So how much are they?
For the 10,000 watt and 10,000 watt max for it, it was like $500.
I wonder how that's comparable to the lithium ion banks. So.
The only thing I've heard so far is that it has a faster recharge. For it. So, I get to install it because when I ended up ordering it, I got it and I started putting it together, and all of a sudden one of my cells broke.
Ooh.
So do
you have to compress them just like you have to do with the lithium?
Not necessarily. I mean, I got bus bars for them.
Uh-huh.
That came in it, and I pretty much just connect them all in one, and then I have to hook up a wiring. It's a harmonic balancer for it.
Right. So same thing as you have to do for the other one, for the lithium.
Okay.
But the difference, in lithium, you got to actually compress the cells, because if you allow them to swell, they'll swell and explode. So you got to put the cells under compression. So within a box, a wooden box, a plastic box, some kind of box.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
I am getting a box for it, mainly just because of the fact that the bus bars are all exposed. I'm sorry, I don't have a box showing the back of my vehicle.
All right.
So,
and what did you say? What vehicle it was in? You didn't
there's a 2013 GMC Acadia.
Acadia SUV.
SUV.
Yep. It's a 3-seater, which, well, not a 3-seater anymore because the back seat's taken up.
Okay. Oh, so it's so if you said it's a 5K class, so the seat folds up though, right?
Yeah. The seats can fold up still.
Okay. Yeah, because you're still in the stock class, so everything has to function. So
Yep.
So Wyatt's not here. What do you think of Wyatt's judging?
Absolutely, he's good.
He's good.
Yeah.
You appreciate
he's
his
good.
shows?
Oh god, yeah.
Okay.
He's helped me out plenty enough when I first started.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously I had no idea what I was doing. I found the competition and I went there and he helped me all the way through it, and he still does to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Any new people, he's more than willing to help out and try to get you up there.
Mm-hmm. So this is actually a good question. So how did you find out about the competition? Right, as a new, you never been to it before, right? It'd be good for us to know, right, Jeffrey, how they found out about this, right? So.
Funny enough, I actually just went on Facebook and I started typing in bass competitions everywhere. And sooner or later, I ended up finding some. I found one, and it was the Night Show in Wisconsin. And it's actually hosted by Cody Melchert. I think that's how you spell his last name.
Okay.
And he's been hosting that show for the past 4 years that I've been doing it. And he was actually the first one I ever went to. And I didn't even get put into a technical class because I had my subs wired completely wrong. But Wyatt's let me go there and compete with another guy that had the same issue as me.
Okay.
And I, of course, came home with the second place. But hey, it was still something. I wasn't complaining.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's good to hear. I mean, the mark of a good judge is being able to help new competitors or just, people wanting to know more information about competing, So that's good that Wyatt did that for you. We try to tell, like new judges or people wanting to become judges, that's kind of what you have to do, because you never know. There could be a couple of people that are kind of on the fence, not really too sure about how things work, but Doug likes to have a fellow competitor kind of be like, their go-between, or have them help, new competitors, which is a cool thing too. So it's good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is there something that stands out to you at Wyatt shows, or have you been to anybody else's shows that you can compare it with?
Not for DB drag wise, no. The only other competition I've been to would be I.C.A, which is hosted by Scott Snide, I think it is.
Okay.
I'm probably butchering their last names, but I know it's Scott from I.C.A. He's the only other competition I've went to so far.
Okay, and so how format wise, okay, I.C.A versus DB drag, is the one you prefer, or like I said, we are DB drag guys 100%.
Yep,
I mean, we're not trying to say we aren't, but we don't hold it against anybody if they prefer I.C.A or base boxing, whatever. So no, what was it? The format wise, is one you prefer over the other, or?
It's definitely DB drag. It's a little more like set in stone for like classes and stuff like that, because like for I.C.A, which don't get me wrong, I'm not dissing on either, because I love going to the shows as well. But you could be going up against a guy with 212s compared to the 215s. They go off of like the surface area more than what you actually are running. So if you have equal amount of surface area between the actual subwoofers themselves, that's what they're going to go off of. They go off of some wattage, but not as much.
So you prefer format-wise DB drag racing?
Yes.
And have you even tried the base racing top dog? Is that just not your thing, or what?
I have tried base race way in the beginning, and I was complete crap at it. I mean, I could definitely try it again and see how it would do, but I'm kind of like a left foot when it comes to actually twisting that dial. So I kind of go for it, just gun the hole with it.
Not quite the finesse kind of guy.
Yeah, no, not really. Yeah, when I ended up getting this new system, it was a funny moment at like one of our first competitions, because it was a whole new system to me. Never had the proper 8K amp that could actually push, the total 5,000 watts. Well, here I turned the dial all the way up and I shot over my 5K. I'm like, well, that's an issue.
Oh, so speaking of the new stuff, right? So the new system, the way the power reads, has that affected you yet?
It definitely. Explain.
So last year, the way the power read with clamps was different than it reads now. So your power is going to be quite higher than it was previously.
Yeah. So I don't really see an issue with it so far. Mainly because of the fact that with the new system that DB is running, I ended up getting the amp at the same time. So I can't really compare to whether it's better or worse, or how different it is, because with the new system and the DB drag and obviously my system alone, I don't really see a difference. If I had my old system and I was going with the new system for DB drag, I might be able to tell something different. But currently I can't really tell the difference.
Yeah, I think Wyatt was the first judge to actually try the new setup, at his show. So, and he said it ran really good. More so that Wayne, put it out there, put the new update for everybody. So.
I think there might have been one issue so far that not really an issue with it, but just with reading wise, I think one of our other competitors, he had a 8K amp, and it got all the way up to 10,000 watts somehow.
Is it the sound digital?
The amp, I think it was Sundown.
Okay. I know I've seen issues with the sound digitals in the past, but I was told that they corrected that. So if I see somebody with the sound digital, they still may have one of the older models before they corrected it, and that may potentially become an issue, So, but all right. The other question I have for you on that is there something that Wyatt does that the I.C.A or whatever isn't? What is different about his show than the other judge that you've been to?
Maybe like style-wise.
Yeah, style. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, judging style. Does it seem faster? Does it seem more friendly? What is it? A different feel of a show or what?
I would say with friendly-wise, yes. It's a lot more bubbly. Wyatt usually is joking around with us a lot more, and stuff like that. But I mean, usually, like for this upcoming show, I.C.A and Wyatt will actually be at that show. So they both go pretty much hand in hand together. I mean, both of them working together are great. I mean, even separately, they're working good together too. But like I said, Wyatt jokes around a little bit more.
Okay.
But it's definitely not an issue with Scott either, though. I mean, you want to joke around with him, he'll joke around, but not as much as Wyatt.
So I was talking. Oops, did I lose you guys?
No,
Still here.
Okay, no, I touched the cord again.
Oh,
I was talking to Steven right before the podcast, and we were talking a little bit, and so he has aspirations of going to World Finals this year. So
That's cool.
the issue is, though, he's only got 48 points.
yeah, 48 in DBJ, and I believe it's 48 in freestyle. Otherwise, it's gonna be like 45.
So he's going to have to buy the gas saver to hopefully, because we were looking at shows, and they were like 11, 12 hours away from him.
Well, do you have your DB Drag membership?
Yeah, I just recently bought it actually.
Okay, because I think there's a bonus points. Just for,
bonus points.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I
becoming a member.
get 10 bonus points just
Oh,
because
okay.
I bought it for July. So it wasn't
right,
really July.
And then you still get the plus bonus points also for if you pre-register for shows.
If you add it to your calendar.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. That I didn't know about actually.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll definitely have to check that out later tonight.
Yeah.
when I'm
So
at work.
essentially, you just log on to your DB Drag, membership.
Uh-huh.
You look through the calendar of events. You click on the calendar of events, and to the left, I believe, if it's still there, it'll ask you if you want to add it to your calendar. So you add it to your calendar, you attend the show, and I believe like the next day, the point is, I think it's one bonus point gets
One
added
bonus.
on. Yeah.
A point's a point. I'll take
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, because we were talking, so he's got 48 points now. Is that with the extra 10 already?
it. No, that's
Oh.
what's out.
Oh, Tyler Archer
So-
popping in. What's good, Tyler? Okay, yeah, so that'll put you at 58 points. Now those
Yep.
2 extra shows, and if you pre-register them, so you get 2 bonus points before those events, then, add to your calendar, and you're looking good. Might not even have to buy the gas saver.
That'd be nice.
And so this will be his first finals, even as an attender, right? You haven't even attended a finals.
Nope, because I didn't even know about them.
So,
I always heard about them, but I never knew where they actually were.
oh, really?
So, yeah, no, I had no idea.
So where did you hear about him?
I heard about it from a good competitor of mine, Brant Anderson, aka Senator B. I don't know if you guys have heard about him. Either.
No.
You know what,
No.
Brant Anderson? I think didn't he break the world record in
did.
cycling? Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Oh, he did. What was his score?
I think he had a 158.6. I think it was
At
at
100?
25 hertz. I think it was 25.
Oh, he sent the current record.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yep. Yeah, and he was actually the one who's been helping me out a lot.
that's
cool.
I definitely would not have my system if it wasn't for his help, and selling it to me and all that stuff and helping me hook it up too.
That's
So-
awesome.
That's
Yeah,
good. I
and
mean, yeah, I would always tell competitors to surround yourselves with, like-minded individuals that could, help you, especially competing. Yeah. You need all the help you can get.
Oh yeah, I mean at our Wisconsin shows, we're all good friends with each other. I mean,
Mhm.
we'll all joke around with each other. We'll try to help each other out as much as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all willing to be there. I mean, we all see each other every single show. So,
How many people usually attend there in Wisconsin? How many
What a
different
good-
cars usually?
oh boy, 40, maybe 50 on a good show. On a bad show,
Dang.
probably like 30, if anything. Maybe a
Yes,
little less,
that's a good amount.
but still not terrible though.
That's pretty solid amount. You figure you
Mhm.
can get 50 entries from 30 cars, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
That would
Yeah,
make it
but,
worth it, Jeff.
Yeah. But this upcoming one is actually hosted by Brand.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is it a DB Drag?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it'll be Senator B's for diabetes. That's what it was.
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
and yeah, all his shows up here basically for
Oh,
so-
really?
yeah. So this recent one, that one was for cancer. Then this one's for diabetes, and then one that I.A.C.A host, that one actually is for autism.
Okay. We don't hate any of those causes. Jeffrey, are you doing any this year, Jeff?
I'm looking to get back into the Toys for Tots.
Okay.
But as far as any other ones,
Okay. Yeah, I haven't done any shows this year at all. Joel, if you're still listening or whatever, I may be doing his 19th show. I need to wait till Wednesday to find out. Wow, I do believe my speed is bad, even though my computer did not say my speed's bad, because normally it tells me right across the bottom. It says hey, your speed's really bad. I'm trying to run a speed test right now, and it's not connecting to the speed test. And Tyler Archer says it's like Minecraft. So that's interesting. Oh, it just said my internet.
So you're out of Wisconsin. You said middle Wisconsin, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's pretty close. Well, I don't know how far the drive that would be, but we have some new judges in Canada.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Oh, okay.
And that's going to be like an 11 to 13 hour drive for them.
Yeah.
But if you do they're kind of known this year for doing that quad shows. So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you can probably rack up all of your points or the rest of your points in one weekend. Yeah, so I honestly, I had to look up where Wisconsin was on the map just now. I'm really bad at geography, but yeah, I mean, if you're that close, or 13 hours away, if you're looking to go to the World Finals and you really need those points, just make a week out of it. Have a schedule some vacation time or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I could be doing that next year at least because I'm hoping that with these two shows, because both of them are double points.
Oh, right.
I'm hoping that I'll be able to at least get a first for both shows, or at least a second. That should still hopefully get me over to possibly the 75 points. If I'm going off of, adding the 10 points to my 48 now, that would be 58. But if I add the shows, that's an extra 2 points. So I got the 60 right there.
Yep.
So in fact, I'd only need 15 more points.
That is correct.
Yeah.
So hoping that at least I get a second, but better off would be a first.
And get them all done in the first show, right? Get all your points?
Exactly. That would be awesome.
Yeah. So, Jeffrey, do you remember your first World Finals or no? Is that too long ago?
No, I do remember. Let's see, after getting the points.
Nashville?
Yes, Nashville.
Okay.
I kind of put off getting my invite, or actually replying to my invite. And it wasn't until Wayne Harris, believe it or not, himself called me and asked me if I was going to World Finals. And I think I was in bed at the time, and that's kind of when I decided I was going to go to finals. I think it was 2000, right? 2000, yeah.
Oh, dang.
But yeah, so I trailered my Toyota Corolla at the time. I was doing the 3 to 4 class, and yeah, I had 2 buddies of mine. We made the road trip out to Nashville, Tennessee. I think it was like 20 plus hours. Oh, yeah. Only to qualify. Well, maybe I shouldn't say this as a bad thing, but I think I qualified in like 9th place. But then, as other people were qualifying, it kept knocking me down. I think I finished off at like 13th place out of 14 people. But like you said, it's all about having fun. The World Finals is definitely an event that you really would want to attend. Yeah. Back then, it was one location, and we had people from literally all over the world. There's people there from Germany over there,
Sweden.
And yeah.
Germany, Sweden, Greece, Norway. Yeah, we had all kinds of people there.
Oh,
so it's definitely a fun time for sure.
And I promise you, you'll meet people there that you never met before, and they'll be like, and you'll just connect with them.
Yes.
I can believe it.
So you build your own system, or do you have somebody build for you? You have help? How's that work?
So Brand actually was the one who built my box for me. Mainly because he was selling me all of his son's old equipment.
Okay.
So he built the box for me, and then I drove all the way down to his house, which was a good 3 hours away.
Oh.
And we spent the whole day just installing it and just having fun. Of course, he was teasing me, but just making fun of me. But it was all for fun. And yeah, so
we'll have to start somewhere. If I when I went to finals and place where I did, if I just said, screw this, I'm not going to compete anymore. Who knows where I would have been. It took me a few years, but hey, I got a couple of world championships under my belt, and it never would have happened if I would have just quit that first year. So,
and
I got to start somewhere.
I've never been to a finals. Well, I've never been to a finals except for as a judge. So, I've never been to finals as a competitor. So,
okay.
It would have been nice, but I transitioned from a competitor to a judge within like a less than 2 year period. So,
whoa. Jeez.
What it was is I started manufacturing subwoofers, and the best way to show my subwoofers to take them to shows. The guy that was doing shows kind of stopped doing shows, so I was like, how else am I going to show off my subwoofers and amplifiers? So I started hosting shows, and then judging, and then just kind of stopped competing. Because once you are a manufacturer for a stereo brand, Rocker Fosgate, Crossfire, or whatever, then when people beat you, they say they beat your brand, not necessarily the person. Okay. So, in the top dog and base race, if somebody beat you, they beat you, and it's part of the game, right? Not everybody can win every time. In DV drag, if you aren't the loudest guy in the world, then people tend to shine it as a native light on if you lose. So that's why I transitioned to judge, and I was selling people car stereos and helping people design their boxes and build boxes. So yeah, but we all got to start somewhere, right? I mean, my first show I did a 136. And then my very next show, I came out, I was doing a 48, and by the next show after that, I was doing over a 50. So.
Holy. Yeah, my first ever show, I had dual SCAR SDR 15s. And then I had an external SCAR SDR 15 as well.
Oh.
And because of the fact that I had the two separate wires from the subwoofers going into the amp, obviously I got put into a different class.
Yep.
Either way, I still pushed at I think it was 143 at 47 decibels, I think, at 47 hertz. So I was actually pretty impressed by that. But then yeah, Wyatt was telling me about that. Yeah, you can't really have the two separate wires going in there. And I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll have to try and figure that out. And then after that, I just started switching up the systems, and I stuck with Scar for quite a while. It wasn't until actually this year that I switched. And obviously nothing bad about Scar. I have nothing bad to say about them, even though everyone always says garbage, which I never really understood. Because I've actually shocked quite a bit of people with those ELs that I ended up having towards the end there.
That's what Moses started with Scar also. Moses Martinez. You don't know Moses Martinez?
No, actually.
Oh, him and his lady friend are just they are the party.
Okay.
So they're great people. They travel all over the country to compete at car shows and stuff. So.
And I'm not sure if you know this, but it's not always the equipment that's going to...
That's right.
I've seen people run, like Sony Explodes, and it just depends how they build the box and, stuff like that, that it's really going to determine how well you're going to do.
So at one point, I did 6 entry-level 12s. So they were full retail $100. They were Sonic FX 12-inch subwoofers, right? They were maybe 200-watt RMS subwoofers. I had them on 1,200 watts, and I did a 56.8.
Oh, no.
So it's not about... It's understanding how to put it together. Is a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Jacob Fincher was doing 55s with the Sony Explode Hexagon or whatever, the plastic cone $10 Sony subwoofers.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He was doing a 55. Yeah. So and he did it to prove the point, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I don't really see, nowadays people like to bash on the brand. But like I said, it's the way you build the box in your vehicle.
Yeah. Tyler Arthur says if you realize that you're the only person you're in competition with, you'll be in competition with yourself. It can help you enjoy things even more.
Oh, yeah.
If you're just trying to improve on yourself, and if you win, lose, that's the inconsequential thing. The important thing is you being better than you were the last time you did the show, right?
Yep. And I 100% agree with that.
There you go.
Of course, everyone will just call me Mr. Second Place. That's all I would win. But hey, like I said, I was going out there and have fun, and I was always switching up things just to try and get extra little numbers, a little higher. Sometimes I would hit really low, and it's just like, well, that's not good. That didn't work. But you just keep on trying.
Yep. Open your glove box, have somebody hold the car, let go of the car, put your one visor down, one visor up,
Put it in the console.
That's right.
Pull the seat all the way up, pull the seat all the way down.
Yep. All those things.
Are you doing these little things at the shows, or do you have access to a meter where you could kind of do test and tune at home, or?
I did buy the little SBL Lab Mini.
Okay.
So I didn't really test the new system out just because I wanted to surprise myself because I wanted to see actually what it hit.
Okay.
But before this upcoming show, I'm going to be trying out by moving my box closer or farther away from my hatch, pulling the glove box down, moving the headrest, all the little bits and bobs that come to competing.
Yeah.
I'm just going to try it out and go from there and hope I can get a little bit higher, but we'll see.
Do you remember the standard rule, Jeffrey? I told a couple weeks ago on here about your box and a hatch.
Don't recall.
Oh, which way are your words facing?
That part.
Port is back, right towards hatch.
Okay.
So it's back.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So the general rule is whatever diameter or whatever, do you have a slot port or diameter around?
It's slot.
Okay. So whatever the smaller number is on your slot, whether if it's 3 inches by 30 inches, whatever the smaller the two numbers are, put it that far away from the hatch. See what happens.
Okay.
Just say.
Yeah.
Some of us may have learned this stuff already.
Try it out. Yeah.
But it's a good rule of thumb to start with.
Oh yeah.
And then the other thing you're gonna want to do is corner load it, right? So you take it in there and you twist it, either facing driver's side or facing passenger side, and you just put it in a slightly compassed. And what that does, sometimes it'll give you a broader bandwidth. May change your frequency just a little bit to resonate with your car a little better.
Okay. Yeah. See, now that I have not heard. I didn't hear about that before until just now. So that's actually really good to know, and I'll definitely try it out.
Well, if you watched our podcast, we have discussed all these things in the past. We actually had a box building podcast a couple of weeks ago, and we talked about that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at them.
So,
But I would say, getting a box built by someone who just set a world record, that's a good start.
That's a good start.
That's a good start.
Yeah. Well, and the funny thing about it is that I go up there and I competed with this box and stuff like that, and these two boys actually competed as well.
Okay.
And I hit the 150, 151, stuff like that, and he always goes, "Why is it that I can build a box for you, but I can't build a box for my boys?" It's just like, I don't know. It's like I feel bad because obviously I'm going higher up than them, but I mean. That's the thing. We're still all just having fun, no matter what. And I hope that they can actually, hit that 150 mark as well, because it's definitely cool. It's definitely cool to feel and actually, get that certified sticker from DBJ themselves.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, hey Jeffrey, we're already at the hour. So.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So you want to hit him with a question real quick?
Okay. Steven, this is a question that we asked all of our guests. There's no right or wrong answer. Basically, we want to know what is your definition of a bass head.
Well, I guess the biggest thing was if you just love to hear the rumble and the bass out of pretty much any kind of music, And whether you have a home audio system or a car audio system, if you like the bass, I don't know if that's what I would consider a bass amp, because that's how I was when I was growing up. I mean, I have speakers in my room, I have speakers in my garage, and I mean, ever since then, I would always just listen to bass music or stuff like that, and I always enjoyed it. So that's at least what I would consider a bass head.
That's totally fine.
Yeah, oh yeah, someone who loves bass.
So
Pretty much.
so where would people, if they want to follow you or see your build or something like that, where would they see that stuff?
It'd probably be on Facebook, because that's usually where I post a lot of my competition results and stuff like that. Otherwise, I do have TikTok, which I have to try and find the tag for you on that one. But because I post a lot of the videos and stuff like that too, of like just my system alone on it, and I've been taking photos of me building the lithium bank and the sodium bank, and adding other wires and stuff like that to my vehicle. I've taken photos of that, so at some point I was gonna make a big old video or collage and post it on social media for to show it off.
Okay. So just look up your name.
Yeah,
Facebook, and then you probably find the rest of it from there, right?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. What about you, Jeffrey? What you got? Final thoughts?
No, it's always good to hear from competitors. From and within the country and abroad, especially from a different area with a judge that we know. We know Wyatt really well. But I never really seen him joke around. But you know what? To be fair, it's always at World Finals where everybody's all stressed out. So it's good to see that he's able to have fun at his shows, which we always tell people, if you're going to judge a show, have fun with it.
Yep. Be yourself and have fun.
Yeah, be yourself and have fun. So it's always, again, good to hear from competitors and seeing what their story is. But with that being said, speaking of shows, I did get in contact with a promoter down here in SoCal who is going to be picking up shows again. We've kind of tentatively scheduled an event. It's going to be like the last days of summer type event, I think he was wanting to do. So that should be on the calendar pretty soon.
You have the night show coming up, right?
Negative. No.
Oh, okay.
No. Not sure if I really want to do the night shows. I'd have to find a venue that's well lit. Okay.
You are in the LA basin, right?
Yes, pretty much around there. So also he had told me that he wanted to do a show during the holidays, during November. I forgot what he had called it, but he was wanting to do a couple of organizations. So be on the lookout for that. But other than that.
Yep. Yeah, for you guys that are worried, Jeffrey's just reestablishing himself down in Southern California. And it's coming around. He's busy moving locations right now. So, yep, he's, as you guys, if you've been part of the podcast for a while now, you did notice, as he made the move to LA, kind of reinvigorated him to start doing shows again. So yeah. It's going to be a minute before he's ready, but he'll get there.
Just getting settled. You guys just, hang in there. It'll be back before you know it.
Yeah. And for me, myself, I may be on the 19th, right? Yeah, the 19th, doing the show up in Dixon as a 2 or 3X. I think he wanted to make it a 3X. So we may be doing that Dixon show. It really depends on what's going on with my house at the time. So, yeah.
Dixon, we're at what?
That is
what is it near?
West of Sacramento.
Oh, okay.
So you take Sacramento, you leave like you're going to San Francisco, and it's I don't know, 15 minutes outside of Sacramento. So
okay, so it's probably like a good.
Minutes.
7 hours from me? In SoCal?
Probably 7, yeah. There's no easy way for you. You'd have to go to Sac and then head that way. The Delta runs between that area. So you either have to go up to Sac or you have to go through the Bay Area up to Dixon.
We've been seeing a lot of footage from Joel's shows, and we've seen Rosa
he's having
doing
fun.
really well. Yeah, so Dana and I were talking about maybe we better make it out to one of the NorCal shows. Now, if it's going to be a multi-point event, and we might just make our way up there.
Okay. So yeah, it like I said, I'll let Joel know, and we'll kind of get that on there. Other than that, I appreciate you guys coming in. Hope you guys all enjoyed last week's podcast with the mental health professional. Definitely way outside of what we normally do. We did tie it to car audio, but it's a great topic. You could tell Stacy, bass girl, she had a passion for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think that is all. We all should take care of ourselves physically and mentally. If the car stereo company or car stereo scene allows you to do that, hey, more power to you. That's awesome. That's really what we were going for on that. I am gonna upload this. I will check the YouTube before, if the YouTube's all choppy or whatever, I'll delete it and I'll upload this one so that we can get that fixed up. Other than that, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Next week we are having a guy from the Philippines, Ricky Del Rosario.
Whoa.
And then we're gonna talk to Steven after this, the guy that just set the new world record for Cyclone. Maybe we'll get him on the week after that. It'd be cool to talk to him. Yeah. Maybe you can connect us with him. So,
yeah.
But I do understand why Wyatt wanted you to have on here. You can see that you have a love for car audio. It's cool that this is going to be your first year going to World Finals.
Yep.
It is always good to see this competition scene from the eyes of somebody that's fresh into it.
And also from a very small town too. It's not even called a town; it's a village.
It's a village. But the thing is to be able to see it and reminisce on your first season in competition and your first World Finals, it's good for everybody to see and understand that. So.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, I want to thank you guys. I want to thank Steven. I want to thank Jeffrey for being here. Appreciate you both. Like I said, hopefully we'll see everybody back. I'm going to call and figure out my internet issue, apparently. So we can get this streaming much better next week. But we'll see you next week at 6:30 California time, the only time that matters, here on This Week in Car Audio. Peace. We out.